Alright guys, I ask one thing of you before we hop into this series. Do me a favor, go hit that retweet button if you're on Twitter. Even if you don't have any followers, the retweet itself just means the world to me, as I'm narcissistic and crazy like that. But we do want to give thanks to the sponsors of this event, CM Storm, of course, over here in the bottom right, and or sorry, bottom middle, I guess, and of course, Chairs for Gaming as well. Thank you to both of these guys, both of these great companies for supporting Base Rate TV through multiple tournaments at this point. But getting into this, spawning in the bottom central portion of the map, it's going to be the Orange Zerg player playing for Complexity Gaming, Moosegills.
He were left as the Blue Terran, CM Storm's Polt.
So Polt already played a pretty hard TVZ today, from what I understand. I didn't catch a moment of it because it was sadly unding it, but he played against Solar, so if nothing else, he's warmed up for this match. I don't know if he won or lost, but
that's so sad.
Oh wow! Is this really Polt? Like, can we just back up a moment? Is Polt 2-raxing right now?
I saw this if he leave, right? And I was like, wow, he must be really afraid Moosegills is gonna early pull.
That's
him or
what
something.
I was thinking too. Like, it's Polt. It's just a scout. There's nothing else. No way. No how. I mean, Polt's not a cheeser is the best way to describe it here.
Yeah, and I mean, it's not impossible to 2-rax, you know. But it's just, I think when I've seen him do it, they aren't that great. You know, they're certainly not Maru level, where, I mean, that kid does it like every other, like, game, so, I mean.
Maru, what?
Here's
the thing, though, right? Like, people, there's 2-raxing for cheese to end the game, it's an all-in. Then there's folks like Maru who use 2-raxing like an opener to a series. Like, yeah, like, it's standard for him, as weird as that is to consider. But this is something incredibly powerful. This is definitely something I have had my Zerg friends complain about since God knows how long. I don't hear complaints about proxy gates or early pools or 10-pull banelings. It's always the 2-rax that seems to sting and resonate the most. For Polt's sake, too, this is going to go on scatter for a small amount of time. Oh, no, the Overlord's actually shy of the center. Moosegills, why?
Yeah, he's moving it.
But, you know, back on the other side of the map, he sees a second depot coming up and no barracks. Like, that is kind of a red flag in and of itself.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, he would love to go, like, confirm that it's in the middle of the map, but then the Overlord dies to the Marines, and that's also not very good. Yeah. So, like, you have to choose now. Like, Moosegills, are you going to get a gas? You weren't going to, as I can see, but are you going to now? Maybe you'll get the hatchery and go for a baneling bust. Are you going to pull the drones to stop the bunker from getting up? Are you going to let the bunker get up, but then put a spine cooler down? There's so many variations to actually dealing with this, and some are better than others.
Well, the one spine collar here in the low ground is definitely going to help a lot if he can get this up. A lot of the times, though, you'll see players like pull those Marines to just dance forward. I mean, if there's one thing Polt has, I'd say, above most other players, his control of his units is fantastic. Gets into this little crevasse, back against the wall. 3 of these Marines aren't even being attacked.
I don't know. But, that was a big idea.
Well, it was kind of one of those things where he's going to get surrounded one way or the other. I think this maximizes his damage rather than kiting to oblivion. But the bunker does get up. If he can get any of these Marines into these bunkers, they leapfrog forward from bunker to bunker, and he starts killing a lot of drones. I mean, 2 have only died so far. It's not that bad for Moosegills, but looks like he's going to lose the one on the high ground, not even getting that salvage off. Nice hold so far by Moosegills.
Yeah, really nice hold. I mean, this is kind of what I, it's what I expected, really. I don't know what it is about Polt, but I just feel like, you know, maybe because he doesn't do it so often, it's just not very flashy, I guess. It's whatever. It's probably the perfect word for it. And now he can try and macro out of it any way that he wants to. He can go for 2 CCs behind it. He can go for like a follow-up attack. I mean, 2-rax into Blue Flame Hellbats is my favorite thing to do, but no one else does it. It's too dirty.
It's still just weird for me seeing Polt open with the 2-rax versus Zerg. Just okay. So as far as this goes, like, the spine car should be able to take out this bunker. There's no high ground vision. This is going to have to be abandoned here. It's been left on purpose, though, to buy him time to get these Raxes back home. He didn't want Lings just trying to run by without consequence. And, well, I'd say Polt is... Yeah, you're right. Like, he's got the potential to do some sort of weird follow-up, but nay, Zombie Grub. Double reactors actually might just be... Or no, not double reactors. I thought I clicked on the other one. I thought I clicked on the other one. So Tech Lab and a reactor, never mind, are not that crazy. If it was double reactors, I was gonna get all giddy, like, ooh, maybe he does a second factory, right? Like Super Hellions.
He's gonna go for a 2-base build, as opposed to throwing on that 3rd CC either before the factory or afterwards. This might be a little bit of surprise. I mean, Moosegills that was actually a such a nice hold that I don't even think he's like his mind is even like, you know, because if there's anything that cheese can do, it might not break you there, but it may like mess with your mind a little bit, just the tiniest bit. I really don't think that was the case. Like Moosegills was like, man, that was really easy. I feel pretty great about myself. So I don't think there's going to be a lack of scouting. He should play it like a normal game from now. He's going for 2-base lair.
Well, I think actually he may be thinking someone along the lines of what you had suggested, whether it's going for mutas or not. I do like that he throws double evos for part of the wall, but I really don't think this is for tech.
Oh,
although actually with the Roach
Warren,
yeah, maybe.
Yeah, it could be like the 2-base Roach speed attack. Who was he the one that was doing that? Yeah, he was the one that was doing that against Terran.
Exactly, I was gonna say he's doing Roach Hydra a lot. So at first I was really inclined to call him Mutalisks just because he didn't have that Roach Warren down, but as that goes down, we see the +1 weapon start up immediately. And you know, America runs a fantastic map for Roach Hydra. We see some crazy upsets and some crazy games. Like I always think back to Copa America. You know, we got Major, who's like the favorite Terran in most matches he plays in the first place, up against Fog. You know, who the hell's Fog? Some North American up-and-comer? Great. But he almost knocks Major out of Copa America in a best-of-5, take it to the ace match, going like Roach Hydra. So, no. I mean, it's got potential. This is a good strategy.
Yeah, I would agree against certain Terrans. Polt, I believe, is one of the guys that is actually very good against this specific style. He's very formulaic just as a player. You know, like it's not like he has like the best, absolutely best mechanics, but he is mechanically sound and usually the very I'm going to do this and you're going to know it, but I'm still going to beat you kind of player. So that's why 2-Rex is a little surprising. And I think that he just like has that formula for defeating Roach Hydra. Whereas like the people that lose to it are usually the ones that try and be, I guess, flashy is the right word, where they're like, oh, I'm going to like drop in 5 places and lose all my drops to Hydras. Damn it.
You know, this was a 2-Rex with no singular Viking follow-up. Like, I really feel like this isn't really Polt. It's just someone else logged out his account. He's like, I can't actually play today. Of course, I don't say that with any seriousness, guys, and hope no one takes that out of context. But no, it's still just funny seeing Polt play a little bit off of what we expect him to, because that's kind of what Polt's known for doing, right? Like playing the same way all the time, every day. Yeah. But double drops in the main do get scouted. Overlords, well, Moosegills, what are you doing? There you go. The Roach has got to come back towards the main. This is a lot of damage you can't underestimate. There is stim on these Marines. No combat shields means you can deal with this a little bit more easily, but combat shields is, of course, halfway finished and will not be forgotten this game.
I believe that was the first indication of just how many roaches are on the field. His Hellions can scout the Roach Warren. But that was, you know, that was something like, oh yeah, that's a lot of roaches. Maybe I shouldn't take my third right now, although he doesn't have a third, so that's actually not even a question. He should throw it down soon, though. Okay. It may be a little bit of a problem. I said formulaic and how he deals with this, but that is usually off the back of something that does have a third CC fairly quickly. But now, you know, his upgrades are going to be later. They're only now getting thrown down. His third CC is a lot later as well. This actually might screw with that whole Polt's so stable that he's going to win plan I had.
It just sounds like he's going through a midlife crisis with the way you're describing it. Like, all right, so the Roaches guarding the unload location, not going to happen again for Polt. But at the same time, Moosegills has segmented a small amount around the map. Whether he was looking for those Hellions, whether he's looking for a way to just get some sneak attack damage done, he does just barely miss them. But it's really, well, Roaches are scary and all that. It's when Hydras come into play, this really starts shifting focus for Polt. And this is where we're going to have to see compositions change. I believe it was Intense we saw with lots and lots of Marauders doing a great job of pushing back yesterday. Polt not exactly in a position to do that, but he does have a hell of a lot of infantry, and oftentimes we talk about Roach Hydra, the best way to beat it is usually just numbers, outmassing them, so to speak.
Yeah, he still hasn't gotten a third base, really? He's getting 1-1, although it is going to be a lot later than Moosegills, although Moosegills hasn't started this 2-2 yet. But, you know, he's not getting any tanks. He really is going to rely on just, like, I guess the fact that he's been producing so much earlier than you would expect with like a 3cc build to win him out, and of course mass doom drops, which Moosegills is doing a really great job of identifying that, you know, identifying that Polt's not going to sit back. He is going to try and abuse the spawn positions, as it were.
I really like his quick reactions. Oftentimes we discuss how it's hard for any sort of Zerg player who goes Roach Hydra to respond to drops. They're slower than Zerglings. They're not like Mutalisks. You don't get that speedy, immediate response to the main. But by having Roaches pre-positioned here, he's doing just fine. Golden actually was another one who's really good at this. He'd always leave like 2 Hydras and 3 Roaches, seemed to be the magic number in the main, and Medivacs could never really get in there.
Yeah. I keep on like thinking I'm mistaken that he hasn't thrown a third command center, but he still hasn't. But he is going to continue with his upgrade, so it's not like really you can call it an all-in. It's just getting bizarre for TVZ.
It kind of is getting all-in-ish, though, I'd say.
Like, why would you continue upgrades then? Like, you can't call it an all-in when they're still getting 2-2, right?
It's one of those things where maybe he's just banking to win the game by the time he mines out. I mean, he does. His production's insane for what you would normally expect to see at this point in the game. And this, of course, because he sacrifices the minerals that would go into that extra CC, the extra SCVs he'd need to make to saturate that base. I mean, for Polt's sake, first off, I'm loving this Widow Mine wall behind the supply depot wall. This is actually going to just wreck any amount of roaches that come up to the top. But
I like his plan. Like, you know, instead of like having that really tense moment where I have to defend the third, like bunkers and tanks or whatever, I'm just gonna stay in 2 bases and you just won't be able to break my supply depot wall. Yeah. Like, nah.
Well, you know, we talk about upgrades a lot here for Polt, but you know, Moosegills has been on 1-1 for a while, and he's out of the main. Polt baits Moosegills the wrong way. Those roaches that were guarding for so long and so effectively are gone, and this is the doomiest of doom drops I've ever seen. This is like 3/4 of Polt's army unloading in the main right now.
No roaches, don't go in alone.
No, they need to stay back. They need to just soak those hits for the Hydralisks. Again, so slow off of creep, still fairly slow on creep, but gets on top of this army, should be able to clean this up, but oh man, that's gonna cost him a lot.
He lost out on those roaches pretty quickly. The upgrades are even. I mean, Moosegills had 1-1 so far ahead, but he stopped the upgrades. He does want that fight, although I think that traded better than I was expecting anyways. But Polt does dip in supply. He did not take out anything of importance in the main either, despite that being so blindsiding.
I think that's kind of the thing, though. It was army for army in a situation where Moosegills has better economy, thus better potential for more army, as weird as that is to phrase it in such a way. But you're right. You bring up the upgrades. I tried to touch base on that before the fight started, but of course, action rolled in. But yeah, he's had 1-1 for a long time. Hasn't started his own 2-2. Whether this is a mistake or on purpose, I don't know. But Polt's 2-2 is on the way, and that's going to give his Marines a lot more firepower against these chunky units.
Moosegills. Oh, he just barely saw the medevacs, I think, in the main. Going to the main,
Comes back here with a couple of units. Problem is, there's still way too many medevacs. Like, even if you lose, this is not scary. 6 roaches, 2 hydras. Like, this is not scary. Oh, the Widow Mines are with this too. Oh my god. Polt went back home for help. He brought the reinforcements.
This is awkward for Moosegills. He's attacking with a mineral line. What do you do? Stop.
Yeah, like, he's trying to make some friendly fire, I think, there with the roaches diving in like that, but the Widow Mine cluster now on cooldown. The Hydralisks do what they can. They got a lot of range on top of these Marines, forced to bring themselves a little bit closer to the fight than they want to. But where are the Overseers? Do they all die?
Yeah.
Moosegills run! Moosegills run!
Love of God.
Do not stay here! Moosegills run! They're coming up and cooldown! Oh no! Okay, that could have been so much worse. That could have been so much worse. But I don't think he moved because he expected Widow Mines. He's moving in response to a drop that's going around. So, I mean, still, these need to be cleaned up. Polt, can you imagine Polt's mindset right now? Like, how do I have like 11 Widow Mines in my opponent's base?
Oh my god, the next Doom drop that he has like a freaking bomb waiting. Oh god, he remembers. He makes an Overseer.
That Overseer's gonna die, I tell you what. Like...
I think I'm checking the 2 Widow Mines that are over here. It's like 11 pop off on it.
By the way, third base from Polt coming down here at the 19-minute mark. Moosegills was scouting for that third base, but I don't even know what to say. This is just too many Widow Mines. This is like one really big Widow Mine that just has 7 different guns. Is what it is.
Oh, he finally gets that main. Moosegills like getting really fed up, tries to attack, runs into more Widow Mines.
This I can't. This is reminding me so much like North American player, not exactly the most well-known guy out there. HTO Mario used to do this thing where he would just go like massive Widow Mines and burrow them on top of a roach Hydra army. This is really the only thing I think of when I look at this for Polt. But no detection from Moosegills on the other side of the field, which means he can't really ever leave the base. Like he's actually trapped himself here between a rock and a Widow Mine place.
The thing is, too, is that he lost all of the roaches to those Widow Mines, so that army from Polt, especially with the SCVs included, and the upgrades that it has actually surpassed Moosegills' upgrades. That'll die.
Oh no, don't leave the base! You can't!
No!
Oh my god! So, this was a game that honestly was looking fantastic for Moosegills right up until, not even, like, that first Doom drop, as scary as it was, wasn't even what killed him here. These Widow Mines, weirdly enough, have absolutely torn him to pieces.
It's just a testament to persistence from Polt.
I love that he's left them here with it. He could have moved these at any point Like, even before this base died, he could have moved these into the mineral line, onto that ramp. There we go, finally.
Oh, look at Polt's supply. It's sexy. 162 out of 67.
Yeah, I guess he did lose a lot. It's kind of an all-in for him.
He lost.
Yo,
Yeah, the third
Moosegills,
TC as well.
he might just stick in this game.
Yeah.
His army supply's not so bad. The Widowmines are going to go on cooldown.
Well,
it depends on how amazing their shots are. They're going to go off on the Broodlings.
Oh, no.
Oh, the Broodlings! Okay, that could have been much worse, but he doesn't get any good effective shots with the Widowmines is the thing, but he's sandwiched in between two armies. SCV's pulled into this. I think Polt's about to lock this down. His army supply doubles that of Moosegills at this point. Drone's being pulled into the fray, but it's a little bit too late. And in the scrappiest, weirdest game, number 1, we're going to have Polt win it out. I